have a look at what happened to him.
He's right there, and watch his right knee as he breaks to the right. Sort of buckles to the inside, and he grabs it right away.
One of those non-contact turf injuries that we've seen so much of. First down for the Lions. Draw play to give it up to Corey Philpott, and Philpott runs smack into Tom Hips, among others. And it's actually probably a loss of a couple as Hips comes up to make the tackle. One of the first-year men who has made this team, and Tom Hips out of Tacoma, Washington, or actually out of Toronto, rather, in the University of Toronto, has made an impact in the middle.
Sorry, one of the nicest surprises for Dave Ritchie in training camp. Really done a nice job all the way from the beginning of camp, and it really anchors that run.
Now Allen on second and long being chased, just dumps it to Philpott. Philpott's got one man to beat, but that one man, Torrey Hunter, does a great job of forcing Philpott out of bounds, well short of a BC first down, a pickup of 7, but the Lions will be forced to punt.
Guard Larry McSeed really makes the play. He's kind of coming on a delayed blitz rush on Damon Allen and keeps him in the pocket.
Well, Torrey Hunter, who made that last play a moment ago, is the guy who is from Tacoma, Washington, by way of Washington State University, and like a lot of guys that come out here and play, he needed tickets today. His toughest job today is tickets. Chris Wright back to receive the punt from Luke Pasaglia. All kinds of early movement and all kinds of finger pointing going on. Is Louis thinking of throwing? I don't think so.
Well, he's thrown a couple in the past. He's actually a 58% passer all time.
Oh, he should be. He was a good quarterback at Simon Fraser.
Simon Fraser. He's gone in his career 18 for 31. Over 400 yards passing. That's not bad for a punter.
Hey, yeah. Probably the all-time leader among punters.
League of procedure, BC, number 11, still third down.
Strangely enough, the league doesn't keep that stat, all-time passing yards by punters, but they, by rights, they really should.
Yeah, I had to dig long and hard to get that one.
Lou's been around so long that the guy they brought in to replace him, Julio Caravata, is now close to retirement. Pasaglia with a punt that bounces high to Chris Wright at the 45-yard line. And here comes Wright again. Finally tackled as he gets down to the 45-yard line. Andrew English makes the stop. A 40-yard punt. A return of 21 yards. So Louis just keeps getting it done with the kicks. He, like Bob Cameron, just seems to be ageless, but all-time games played doesn't even seem to be fair. Although Miles Garrell, I got to say, got headbutted a lot more in his 321 games than Louis has. Well, we have a moment down to David Pratt.
Gordo, the situation with Randolph is that as he was coming down on that kickoff, he heard the sound rather than every football player hates to hear that pop. It was in his right knee. They're looking at it right now. Not all that concerned about it, but they are worried that he may be gone for the rest of the game. But again, it doesn't look that serious.
Thank you, David. Tracy Ham with a pass. It's almost picked off by another guy who made a big play last week against Hamilton, Leonard Humphreys. He, too, had an INT return for a touchdown, and Humphreys there almost had another pick.
It's been an interesting season for Leonard Humphreys. You know, he'll get beat for a touchdown one play and then come back and intercept one for a touchdown. He comes across the curl and really beats receivers to the ball there. He knocks it down, really should have had the catch.
And 2 receivers in the area for Montreal, which attracted more Lions than they probably wanted there.
Someone zigged when they should have zagged for Montreal.
Second down. Ham, lots of time, slinging it out there, and it bounces out. He was looking for Denny Montana. The pass is incomplete. Montreal will once again go to the sidelines, and Tracy Ham saying, I can't throw much better than that.
Well, he is so frustrated. In the last 3 games, the Montreal Alouettes have dropped 27 passes. And when you're the quarterback, you can't do it any better. You throw it in there, you got to hope that your receiver makes the catch, and you can see the frustration in Tracy Ham.
He just saw the replay on the big screen.
27 drops in 3 games. That's way too many.
Terry Baker now out to try the field goal. His longest of the year is 44. This try comes from 51 yards out. He's got it up, and he hit the upright.
Okay, I'd give him...
All right, that's it.
I'd give him 100 footballs, and he doesn't do that twice. He doesn't do that one more time.
Wow.
You're going to give Damon 10. I'll give him 100 and see if he can kick it.
Maybe the Lions are using thicker ones this week. I mean, he hit that square. He hit that thing right in the mind.
I used to joke with Dave Ridgway in practice when I was holding for him and say, you know, I'll buy dinner tonight if you can hit the upright with it. And 50 kicks later, he still had. Do it in the game.
I guess you owe Terry Baker dinner then.
I owe Terry Baker dinner.
one of the all-time nightmare evenings for a kicker here a few years ago for Ottawa. He was struggling on field goals, and while practicing on the sidelines, actually missed the kicker's net.
Oh, that's a rough night.
Suffice to say, the crowd was all over him. Damon Allen now for Mike Trevathan. And Trevathan forgot to drop the tailgate. That falls through, and Mike Trevathan had 3 catches last week after having just 3 in the 3 games previous to that.
Okay.
And meantime, on the Montreal sideline, Paul Randolph with the ice bag on that right knee. And it's tough enough to get hurt, but when no one touches you, it's even worse.
Yeah, and with the way they're packing up that ice, we probably won't see Paul Randolph, at least in this half.
Early movement as Jamie Terrace gets into it there, as it appeared that Dave Peterson moved early.
Legal procedure, BC, number 60, still second down.
Jamie Terrace moves his right hand. When you get in the 3-point stance, you cannot move. One hand is down, the other hand's kind of leaned back on Terrace, and that's why Doug Peterson took off and went after him. Any kind of movement, he'll go right. He'll take off and go, so Terrace gets the illegal procedure call.
Brings up 2nd and 15 now from the 20. Allen, lots of time looking for Alfred Jackson. Oh, what a defensive play Irv Smith made. Alfred Jackson, I think, was already heading for the end zone when Irv Smith picked his pocket.
Irv Smith played the zone defense perfectly. He stayed outside on Damon Allen and made it look like Alfred Jackson was open from start to finish. When the ball's in the air, he closes on it and then lays out for his team-leading 6th knockdown. He's coming right across here, and Irv Smith's going to just lay out, get both hands on the football, and knock it down.
What an athletic play by Irv Smith. And the BC Lions once again forced to punt as the Alouettes are winning the battle for field position. High kick. Right from his 50. Out across midfield. Loops back, and Frank Himmelskirk makes the stop. A return of 5 after a 40-yard punt. The Alouettes should have excellent field position once again as Chris Wright is doing what he was advertised he can do.
Well, he had a big game in the opening game of the season for Montreal. Had a punt return for a touchdown, and sort of felt like from that point on it was going to be pretty easy. He struggled a little bit throughout the season, but he started to get a little frustrated, and talking to his teammates, he said he really wanted to have a big game and sort of break out of a shell tonight.
Wright stays out there at wide receiver. First down for the Montreal Alouettes from their own 54-yard line. Ham gives it off to Michael Souls. Big hole up the middle as Souls into BC territory, crosses the 50 and gets down to the 48-yard line. A pickup of 8 yards. And Michael Souls just continues to get it done. Started his career with the Edmonton Eskimos, now a Montreal Alouette. And look at his per carry average of 5.3 yards for a fullback.
Michael Souls hasn't got the ball a lot this season, only 7 carries coming into this game, so as we saw by his numbers, he can get it done. He just hasn't been involved yet in Tracy Ham's offense.
Tracy Ham running out of time here, gets the play off. This is Pringle. Oh, he ran right into Tyrone Chapman. The CFL's leading rusher ran right into the Chapman. It'll be 3rd down, and Montreal will have to punt.
I had a conversation with Tyrone Chapman just before the game, and I said to him, what do you think about all the people telling you that you're too small to stop the run? And the reply I got, I can't repeat on TV.
Oh, really? One of those, huh?
One of those replies, but he just showed it. He walked it like he talked it right there.
If you were typing it on a typewriter, it would be a little circly thing, the exclamation point, the number sign.
That's exactly what it'd be.
Right.
You could see the fire in his eyes when I mentioned the name Mike Pringle as well.
Al Shipman and Andrew English back to receive the kick from Terry Baker. Montreal, blessed with great field position, has been unable to take advantage. That kick almost blocked, and now a flag comes down. Peter Miller hit the kicker. Andrew English will surrender the single point, but Terry Baker is down on the turf, and this will be a Montreal Alouette first down. Now, Baker wants roughing, not contacted.
Or both. He wants both. because this was just contact. If Peter Miller takes a gamble here, he thinks he's got a great shot at the ball. If he touches the ball, he's allowed to hit the kicker. He didn't touch it. Hamilton will get the ball, or excuse me, Montreal gets the ball back.
Unnecessary roughness, roughing the kicker. BC, number 91, first down Montreal.
Now that's a big penalty. As opposed to contacting the kicker, it's roughing the kicker 15 yards. And now the Alouettes have the ball at the 33 as Montreal native Peter Miller gives the Alouettes a second chance. The former Calvin Klein model, by the way.
Well, it's tough to talk to Peter Miller right now. You're saying, listen, we appreciate you going in there to make the big play, but just get your hands on the football. You can't tell a player not to sell out when he's free like that.
Assistant coach Frank Smith talking to him. First down, Tracy Ham dumps it off for Souls, wide open. Souls has the safety man, Greg Freres, in front of him. And Souls put his shoulder into Freres, but he comes up and makes the stop. But not until Michael Souls goes 23 yards.
Great game plan by the Montreal Alouettes this game. They know how much BC Lions will be keying on Mike Pringle, so they've involved Souls on a couple of running plays and a little play-action pass where Souls has slipped out of the backfield.
It's a first down for the Montreal Alouettes just outside the 10-yard line. They should be able to get in, or get a first down, rather, without scoring. Ham, lots of time. Look out, Ham gets away. Finally tied up by David Neva as Ham gets a gain of 1. Tracy Ham had all day back there, but simply couldn't find anyone open.
Well, you have to give credit to the secondary. Leonard Humphreys, Don Wilson, Freres, Holland, and Lyons, because Ham had no one to throw to.
And there's a flag on the play.
Legal contact, now's the receiver. BC, number 22, first down Montreal.
Now, Robert Holland is called for illegal contact. Maybe that's why they couldn't find anyone open downfield. As a result, it'll be first and goal Montreal from the 5. First and goal, Montreal trailing 7-0. Should be the final play of the quarter.
Guess who's getting the rock?
I'd guess Pringle. Option. And Ham is tripped up. Textbook way to play the option. Johnny Scott. Just back in the lineup for BC. Trips up the Montreal quarterback. That's the final play of the first quarter. The BC Lions with a 7-0 lead on Montreal. The Alouettes down to the goal line when we come back. But right now, we'll send you back to CFL Live Control.
CFL Live at the Quarter is brought to you by Midas for new, longer-lasting carbon metallic brake pads. And welcome back to our CFL Live Control Studio. Rod Smith back with Obi, Les, and Marty. It is the plight of any official in any sport. It's like snapping on third down. No one notices unless you do something wrong. That said, Les, there are certain decisions made by officials this week especially that deserve some scrutiny, including tonight.
I wonder if these are the same officials that were in Hamilton last night. But you know what? Montreal is being faced with some challenges right now. Bad things happening to them, and they have to pick up their game like I mentioned at the beginning of the game. As we're going to see here on this long pass, look where the ball is spotted. It is right on the other side of the 40-yard line. When this play is run and the pass is done, Damon Allen is on the 41, which means he's past the line of scrimmage. Referees missed it. It's a big play that leads to a touchdown. As we see, it's a fake right there, but when he throws this ball, he is on the 41-yard line.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting, Les, that the official did throw the flag when it was really important to throw the flag at the opening kickoff. I mean, for a delay of game yet. I've never seen that before. Have you guys?
No.
Come on, refs. You guys got to stop that. People aren't paying to watch you guys. And then at the Pringle fumble, I mean, I don't know what they were. Why didn't they call that ball dead? Yeah. Both of his knees were down.
Brown cannot cause a fumble.
That's exactly right.
He's down. That ball's real dead. And I'm telling you, Rod, there's GMs in this league who are becoming increasingly tired of the officials.
Yeah, and general managers complaining, certainly other members of the player, probably players complaining at this point. A little more on that on the half. Paul Randolph goes down, Obi. Injury to a Canadian linebacker. They need some depth there.
Well, they traded for Ray Bernard, and that might be a key move now if he's used for Randolph's injury.
Okay, so it is Montreal trailing by 7, but threatening. Let's head back to BC Place.
All right, thank you, Rod. 2nd and goal, Montreal now from the 7. Ham to the end zone. Climbing touchdown. Well, the Montreal Alouettes survive a first quarter of adversity, and now Tracy Ham finds Jock Climby for his 2nd touchdown of the year. Tracy Ham's 6th touchdown toss of the season.
Jock Climby is Tracy Ham's #1 receiver in receptions. They're on the same page, have been all year. And Don Wilson, who's a veteran halfback covering Jock Climby, guesses it comes under for the ball, but when Ham sees that, he puts a little more air on it, and with the end zone 20 yards deep in the Canadian Football League, it's tough to guess and come under like that, and Don Wilson did it and lost.
Terry Baker puts the point after up and good, and this game is tied at 7. And as you might expect, a good team from Montreal and a good team from BC slugging it out here tonight.
This is the type of game we thought we'd see. I mean, you're going to see a lot of running from Pringle, and then the play action to Jock Climby and Chris Armstrong. We're coming back. Good job, fellas. We're in this thing, baby. But the key is a healthy Tracy Ham. You watched him the first 3 games of the season this year, and he looked like the Tracy Ham of old the way he was running. Now, he's had a couple of injury problems. Had an ankle. He was dinged, had a little bit of a concussion last week. So the concern for Montreal has been whether or not he's healthy.
And don't forget, BC's first touchdown was set up by a fumble. Montreal's is set up by a roughing the kicker call against Peter Miller, who gets the honor of explaining it on BC Radio.
Well, here's the roughing the kicker call. He does not touch the football and hits Terry Baker pretty hard. And doing it, when you dive to try and block the ball, you have to dive to avoid the kicker. And here comes the touchdown catch, and you can see Don Wilson guessed came underneath.
7-7 is the score, and for just the 7th time this year, the Montreal Alouettes throw a touchdown pass. And they were tied for last in the league in that category, entering this week number 7. Terry Baker with a high kickoff. Corey Philpott from the 10. That hit him in the mask. Makes the catch on his roller skates, and that thing was just jinxed from the beginning. Philpott gets out to the 22-yard line, a 12-yard return. After the roughing the kicker penalty, Montreal didn't have to go far. 56 yards in 7 plays. 3:07 the time of possession, and Montreal ties the game at 7.
Well, they got into a little bit of trouble when Mike Pringle and Tracy Ham were stuffed on an option play, something that we'll talk about a little bit later on. I don't think they're going to have a lot of success running to the outside, but Jock Climby comes to the rescue, gets in behind Don Wilson on the next play.
Damon Allen and the offense now go to work from their own 21-yard line. Corey Philpott on first down has the room. Philpott still going out across the 35. He gets to the 38-yard line. Tracy Gravely and Harold Nash make the stop, but Corey Philpott gets it done with a 16-yard carry, exactly what he wants to do.
Little bit of a draw play for Damon Allen. Alfred Payton has to come upfield and respect the fact that Allen could keep the ball and roll out, and when he does that, it creates a little bit of a seam for Corey Philpott, and that's all he needs.
First down, Lions. Now Allen to the shotgun. Receiver screen to Al Shipman, waiting for a block. Shipman gets out to the 45. Stop is made there by Anthony Drawhorn and Alfred Payton, pickup of 6 yards. That play is really, sorry, Glenn, making a comeback this year.
Yeah, it is, and the reason is because you got guys running backs. You think of Toronto with Pinball Clements, and you got Al Shipman here. Running backs that really can catch the ball well out of the backfield. So that creates this play. They're going to try and get the ball in number 1's hands here in BC any way they can. One way is the little dump passes like that. You'll see some reverses. You'll also run the play.
And on the other side of the field, Corey Philpott is down for the BC Lions. And let's see what happened to him.
He's going to come in right at the top of your... He's right at the top of your screen, and follow Corey Philpott on the play and see exactly what happens.
He just came up lame. just rolled out of bounds. There wasn't anyone within 5 yards
Well,
of
it happened to Paul Randolph, and he has the ice packs on his knee, and now they're looking at Corey Philpott's knee.
Wow. And they say AstroTurf doesn't cause injuries. I think Corey Philpott and Paul Randolph might disagree. 2nd and 4. Allen, screen for Shipman. Great catch. Here he goes. One man to beat. There goes Al Shipman. It's a foot race. Touchdown.
Anybody.
Al Shipman with his 3rd touchdown of the year. It's a 66-yard pass and run score with a big assist to Jamie Terrace. Lou Pasaglia puts the point after up and good. And the BC Lions are climbing their way back on top. The score, BC 14, Montreal 7. Lions have talked about finding a way to get Al Shipman in the offense. Violet under done.
Well, you know, Damon Allen at the beginning of the year was putting in a new offense with new personnel, and he knew once the timing got right, and this play is timed up perfectly, he had the athletes to get it done, and then that's the athletic ability of Al Shipman, but the timing of that play brings Shipman into the secondary.
Damon Allen having some kind of start. He's 9 for 12 passing for 181 yards, 2 touchdowns. Damon Allen is averaging 20 yards per completion in this football game. Stephon Reed was the man with the best chance to get Al Shipman in replacement of Paul Randolph, but he wasn't able to trip him up. Now the kickoff taken by Mike Pringle from the 20. Here comes Pringle. Pringle out across the 50, gets up to the 52-yard line. Robert Holland and Brad Yamoko there to make the stop, but a 30-yard kickoff return by the league's #1 rusher. Montreal has had outstanding field position throughout this game, but trails 14-7.
Well, you think back to the Pringle fumble that possibly wasn't a fumble, and maybe Tracy Ham has a chance there to get some more points on the board. So a couple of turnovers cost the Montreal Alouettes so far in this game.
Pringle lines up in the backfield behind Michael Soule. First down, they give it off to Pringle, and he hits the crease flying. Mike Pringle into BC territory down to the 40-yard line. Greg Frères makes the stop, and Mike Pringle was going about 40 miles an hour when he hit the point of attack.
Yeah, this is the way you attack the BC Lions defense, right up the middle, not to the outside. Now, Mike Pringle's going to catch a seam here, and he's gone. You see Chapman, 56, get caught in the mix. And a pretty good open field tackle by Greg Frères saves a touchdown for Montreal.
An 18-yard gain for Mike Pringle, who took some abuse at the end of the play from Johnny Scott. And now there's an injured BC Lion down on the play, and it is Johnny Scott who was hurt. Scott came tumbling over Mike Pringle at the end of that play, and I thought he gave him a shot in the head on his way by, and we'll see what happened.
He may be a little bit woozy.
So Johnny Scott just back in the lineup is injured again.
Johnny Scott is right here, coming pursuit on Pringle, and goes head-to-head with him right there, and you see his head and neck snap to the right.
So Johnny Scott is down on the play, but his BC Lions have the lead. Back to BC Place on the CFL Live right after this.
The CFL Live on TSN is brought to you in part by Midas for new, longer-lasting carbon metallic brake pads.
Back at BC Place, Johnny Scott getting medical attention. Brooks Finley takes his spot. First down, Montreal at the BC 40. Tracy Ham pump fake, gets away from Joe Fleming. Now runs into Dave Chaters and just fires that one away. Ham throws that one out of bounds. It'll bring up second bridge there named Chater.
Well, first of all, he did a great job of getting away from Joe Fleming, who was the first one in there, and then Dave Chaters, who stayed disciplined. Usually when a guy on your team has a crack at the quarterback,